Summer routines live or die by how easy they are, and honestly, if something takes too much effort, I'm out. That's why Groons is my go-to. It's my one daily pack of gummies covering my greens, vitamins, and minerals. Plus, it has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, which is more than 2 cups of broccoli. No mixing powders, no giant pills, no hassle. I just rip open the pack and I'm done. They taste good and they make it easy to stay on top of my health, even when life gets busy. Save up to 52% with the code PODCAST at Groons.co. That's code PODCAST at GRUNS.co.
Holiday tips and fun facts from Paul, Kristen, and Dexter at Total Wine & More.
There are over 1 million bubbles in a glass of champagne. Here's to a whole lot of celebrating.
Did you know Zinfandel is known as America's wine? Serve it with chocolate for an indulgent pairing.
Need a $10 rockin' gift for your office's gift exchange? Let me help you pick the perfect bottle.
Whether you're entertaining or just bringing the wine, we'd love to share our always low prices and ridiculous selection with you this holiday. Now offering same-day delivery at TotalWine.com. Cheers!
Welcome back to TalkNorth.com. Thank you for listening. If you can, please download before you listen. It helps our business. I'd also like to thank our producer, Brandon Morton, and let you know if you'd like to sponsor this program or any of the programs on the network, you can reach me at jsouhan47@gmail.com. TalkNorth.com is powered by Bite Squad. Go to bitesquad.com or download their app. Get food to your door in minutes. Use the promo code TalkNorth to get your first delivery free. Talk North gets you your first delivery free.
This is a typical Russo story.
So here's the cycle I went through as a beat writer. I started looking forward to the season during the offseason. Got to the preseason. Thought, this is going to be great. We're going to get to actually do stuff, see people practice, right? Then you watch a few practices. You go, God, I can't wait for a game, man. Then you watch a preseason game. You go, my God, this is awful. I can't wait for the regular season. Then you get to the regular season, then you get halfway through the regular season, like, man, this is a grind. I can't wait for the postseason. See some really big games. You get to the postseason, and you enjoy the postseason, but you're kind of looking forward to time off. Then you get a little time off in the offseason, and you go, man, I can't wait for the preseason.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sort of like that. I usually in August get really excited for the season. Then I don't know what happens, but like around Labor Day, I'm like, oh my God. I think it's like that going back to school feeling, like, oh no. Then you're right, to be first beginning of camp, I'm really excited. I churn out copy after copy, and then you kind of get that, I don't want to say bored, but there just hasn't been a lot of compelling articles yet to really write and features. Like I'm working on, I mentioned on the last podcast, a Sealer one, but I want more, the most eyes I could possibly get on it. Everybody's right now focused with the Vikings having a Thursday game and just playing on Sunday. Everybody's Vikings heavy right now, and then this Jimmy Butler stuff. So it's like I keep on pushing stuff back. And then the other cool thing is I
think February. I think I'd want all your best stuff in February. Well, here's
the other thing. I mean, this is like J.T. Brown and Matt Hendricks are 2 guys that I really want to do big coming home stories to. They're both compelling, very good guys to write profiles on. But what if Matt Reed makes the team? One of them's probably gone. So it's like you don't want to do a big J.T. Brown's coming home story, and then all of a sudden he's in Iowa. So you're kind of like waiting. So I've hit that point too, just because they didn't make a lot of moves in the offseason. It's just I'm having trouble getting excited so far in camp. And this isn't to say that, they're not going to be good or whatever. It's just like, the stories I've written, it's like you feel like, all right, even Bruce said it today. Somebody from the Star Tribune said, could this be the year, because Coyle had the hat trick the other night. Could this be the year that Charlie, finally finds himself? And even Bruce is like, we've been saying that for 6 years. And it's true. It's like, you're kind of like, I've already written the Zucker piece. I've already written the Life and Times of Granlund piece. I've already written the Life and Time of Rodin and Dumba.
Well, we'll get back to all that. I do want to introduce the show. Sometimes we just start talking and I forget to do all the furniture. This is the Russo-Souhan Show. He's Michael Russo from The Athletic. I'm Jim Souhan from the Star Tribune. This is our hockey show on TalkNorth.com. We'll talk about Michael's trip to Iowa. We'll talk about whatever he's purchased online lately. We'll get to a lot of Twitter questions because we don't get to many of our Twitter questions when we do our live shows. We do our live shows at Delano's Pizza, downtown Minneapolis, 118 North 4th Street. So it's right there by Ramp C. It's great for pre- and post-game type stuff, no matter what sport you're engaging in or what events you're engaging in downtown Minneapolis. Definitely check out Delano'sPizza.com. I'm going to actually order some tonight. I'm going to order my pizza tonight from Delano's through Bite Squad. Go to bitesquad.com or download their app. Use the promo code TALKNORTH. One word, all uppercase, Talk North. You'll get your first delivery free.
What's so funny about you just saying that right now is look what I'm on. I'm on
You're on Bite Squad?
bitesquad because I was looking at the restaurants in my neighborhood because I'm in that. We're doing this podcast so late on a Monday. I'm like, God, what am I going to have for dinner? I don't feel like cooking.
It's funny. I have mine loaded up on my phone, and I'm going to hit order as soon as we get done, so I can go eat
Delano's
upstairs.
Pizza, Brasa. I love Brasa.
Brasa's great. Absolutely.
The pulled chicken.
Yes, it's fantastic, and it's walking distance from where we live now. So go to bitesquad.com, download Talk North as a promo code. We would appreciate it. These are the kind of deals we want to do with great companies like Bite Squad. We're lucky to also be working with Twill in the Edina Galleria. They've been really loyal sponsors. I buy my stuff there all the time. WizKids.tech, your chief technology ally, downtown Minneapolis company again. Fixology Repair, Tony Hoagland, your State Farm agent in Champlin. So you can support our network by supporting our sponsors. We do appreciate it. Thanks to Brandon Morton, our producer. If you want to sponsor this program or the network, you can reach me at jsouhan47@gmail.com. We continue to add shows. Check out the website for all those. We do appreciate it.
I like the one person that was tweeting today, and we were like, I took it like he was saying like everybody has a podcast on the network now.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
But I don't think that was the connotation, but it was just so funny because it's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, oh, that's a funny joke, but he wasn't even making a joke. So
and we keep adding people. We'll have another new show to announce here soon. We've added Jeff Diamond recently. We have Ryan Shaver and Jordan Taylor doing shows. So check out TalkNorth.com. Subscribe to iTunes, your favorite podcast app. Now let's get to some hockey. What's the new storyline? I mean,
the one today, and this could be old by Tuesday when this gets published by Brandon, Jim. But going into Monday's game in Dallas, Bruce kind of he put a little pressure on JT Brown. Basically said that he needs to do more to distinguish himself this camp because of the play of Matt Reed, who has been good. He's been good not only in practices, but he put himself in a great position to score a goal the other night off a tremendous pass by Jared Spurgeon. And so, I think what Bruce is, I still think JT makes the team over Reed. But I think what he's trying to do is say, hey, buddy, even though you're on the 2-year one-way contract, your job isn't secure. And so I need to see what you are really all about. So I would not shock me. Tomorrow, Tuesday, they're off. But if Wednesday's morning skate, we find out that JT played well in Dallas. And I'm not in Dallas tonight, nor is any of the beat writers, by the way. I will be in Denver. But I think that, because I went, because I'm the beat writer that, everything is not hunky-dory. I'm going to go to the negative right now. I immediately went after JT, and I'm like, hey, JT, Bruce says this. And so, now he's at least aware. So my guess is JT is going to give his best tonight in Dallas. And so, but he does. He says, look, they in NHL salary-wise, Matt Reed actually makes about $30,000 less than JT, so their money is basically even. The only difference is that JT would have to make his $683 or whatever it is in the minors, where Matt Reed, if he gets through waivers, gets $200. But you know what? Maybe Matt Reed's more of a waiver risk than JT is, and that JT just needs to realize, Matt Reed, if he's on this team, he's probably playing fourth line right wing, your position. And Hendricks has two things going for him. One is versatility, that he could play center, and he's been good in faceoffs his entire career, and by the way, has been a shootout specialist for a lot of his career. But the other thing he's got going for him is that Bruce just absolutely loves the guy. So, even though technically we can all say, well, JT Brown might be a better player overall than Matt Hendricks, Matt's got a little bit of an in because of his versatility and the fact that Bruce loves him. So JT's, the radar's up here. He's got to be good, or he can wind up down there. So, I mean, that's kind of the big storyline today. The Colorado game the other night, Jim, they were outstanding, but they were playing a minor league team. But that's what you need sometimes in training camp is getting those reps. I think it was great for Paul Fenton to see that his guys really do have skill. That there is something to Coyle, that that there's a lot there. That Erickson, Eck, and Greenway, they're futures. The Stahl line playing, fairly well. Parisi and Koivu playing terrific together. Spurgeon, this is stuff that again we talked before the season that they haven't made a lot of moves, and that Paul Fenton and Tommy Curvers want to get their eyes on this team. The other night they at least got to see what these guys can do. Granted, the competition wasn't very good. But that was a good sign the other night for at least the I'm not saying that they're a great team because they beat Colorado's 7-0, the Eagles of Colorado, not the Avalanche of Colorado. But again, I think it was good that the GM finally saw that these guys in a game, what they could do on the ice.
We do our live shows at twice a month at Delano's Pizza downtown, 118 North 4th Street, right by Ramp C, right by Target Center, Target Field. They also have a location in Woodbury, 1850 Weir Drive. They have a huge delivery area, and of course, as we mentioned before, when I order my Delano's, I order through Bite Squad, bitesquad.com, promo code TalkNorth. Delano's has a great menu. We love their pizza. I love their gluten-free pizza. Michael loves their lunch specials. They're open for lunch. They have long happy hour. They're open late at night. You can go before a game, after a game. You can have the salad bar. They have a full cocktail menu with really good stuff and really good bitters, which I enjoy, and of course a million craft beers. So check out delanospizza.com. Order Delano's through Bite Squad. We do appreciate it. And next live show, October 2nd. That's next Tuesday, 6 p.m. We're going to move the starting time back just in case somebody's trying to get there from a different place. I know the traffic can be difficult.
I think that's going to be a fun show too, because again, the season remember, 2 hours before that show, we're doing the show at 6 p.m. At 4 p.m., wild rosters have to be submitted for opening night. So we'll have the up-to-date wild roster that we can really break down going into that opening night bloodbath in Colorado. No, I didn't say bloodbath.
You didn't say that. I didn't hear that.
I don't think that I mean, there's no way that McKinnon and Ranton are going to get 5 points in a game again. Right?
You're in mid-season form.
Yeah. Bruce, I was talking to Bruce today about so Bruce the other day. We'll let you finish Did you finish Delano's yet?
Yeah, I mean, basically October 2nd, 6 o'clock. So you have a little more
Great
time
show.
to get downtown if you want, or if you're staying over, come over and hit happy hour before the show. We have a great time. We had a lot of people show up last time. It's really fun to meet people. And people drive in from a long way to see the shows. We just have been really, I don't know if humbled's the right word.
It is humbling.
Humbling. The people would just go out of their way that much to spend time with us and listen to our silly show.
No,
so
it is
you.
humbling. I just was at Starbucks for the last hour with somebody that comes to all our podcasts, or many of our podcasts, with his wife. Drags her. Mm-hmm. like most people that come, like Vicky with Clyde, Andy with Claudine, now Dominic with his wife. I just spent time. He was interviewing me for something he's doing. But it is. I told him that it's just crazy to me that people do this stuff, and treat us with this amount of respect. So, but I think that show is going to be absolutely awesome because again, we're going to be talking pretty much up to the minute what that wild roster is going to look like opening night, and we can really break down everything. Vicky can get an email from Philip with about 50 questions that he can ask. It'll be fun.
And I'm going to put a fine point on this. We love all of our sponsors, and most of our sponsors stay with us a long time. They, certainly they see some benefit from it, from advertising with us, and they recognize the social media reach that we have. They know that they're getting, they're reaching a really cool audience. The Bite Squad deal is a little different. They measure how many times our people use the promo code TalkNorth. So it's actually a big deal to us that that you order from Bite Squad and use the promo code. I don't spend a lot of time begging on here. I'm not begging. I'm pleading. I'm pleading that people who love the show, love the network, use the promo code TalkNorth and order on Bite Squad. It will help us a lot. Michael's doing it on his phone.
It's just funny that you're doing all that because I just created my account. It took 1 minute to create my account, put my address in. And the cool thing is the first thing that comes up on the restaurant that I plan on ordering it tonight is a booking fee of $4.99, which I know is going to be wiped out because I'm going to be using TalkNorth.
There you go. Thank you for doing that. Okay, I'll shut up about that for a second. You did a Russo today. You walked to a Starbucks, came directly here, and then used my coffee machine to get another coffee. So
Yeah.
how many coffees today?
Well, 2 this morning, 1 at the rink, 1 on the way to Starbucks, 1 at Starbucks.
See, that's what kills me. Drinking coffee on the way to Starbucks.
Yeah,
That's like a, you know what? That's your first album is going to be titled
I know.
Drinking Coffee.
And then on the
way to
walk here on the
Starbucks.
Stone Arch Bridge, I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone. He goes, yeah, I said to him, I'm like, yeah, I was at Starbucks last night, and it was 7 o'clock, and I was leaving, and the guy, the barista, he goes, hey, I think he knew my name is Mike, but he should. I've been there 1,000 times. He goes, hey, I know you like these nitro cold brews. Do you want one? I'm like, yeah. This is after drinking Americano, venti, extra shot. So, and do you know, like, these nitro brews, they are unbelievable, but they are caffeinated.
Yes, they are.
Like, they're like probably quadruple of an Americano. So all was good until about midnight.
Just saying, I love coffee, but if I drink coffee after noon, I don't sleep.
I told my friend Rolf, I said, not only couldn't I sleep last night, but I was convinced I was having a heart attack. The nitro
good
cold brew
Lord.
at 7 o'clock will be off the list of things that I could do.
Yeah, take care of yourself, Michael. We need
So
you.
last night, after that 7 o'clock thing, people are the worst, Jim.
I've come up with a nickname for myself. If I ever did like a general interest podcast that didn't have anything to do with sports, just had to do with life, I think it would be called the Skeptical Misanthrope.
People are the worst. Not anybody listening to this show, but people are the worst. So
Everybody
last night,
who
I'm
doesn't listen to
walking-
our program is the worst. That's how we define it.
And it's so funny that how this bothered me, okay? And I mean, like, I wasn't even right by it, but I heard it happen. And it honestly bothered me all day. I'm just walking across the Hennepin Bridge, and I hear a guy yelling below. So I turn around, and I look down by the Mississippi River right in front of the post office, and a young couple, are walking on the edge of the bike path. And what I heard was some guy scream, sidewalk, okay? And then as he's going by, he is cursing this couple out, like, get on the effing sidewalk, you piece of, get on the effing. Like, all he had to do was, like, it's a big bike path.
Yeah.
All he had to do was to, like, 1 inch to the left, go by them. And he, like, God knows what this couple were talking about. Maybe they're having a hardship in their life, whatever. This guy now, for the rest, just because he was inconvenienced to move a foot to his left, decided, without knowing these human beings, to curse them out for the most minor infraction ever, walking on the bike path and not on the sidewalk. Like, what kind of human being does that, honestly? And it bothered me all day today. And I just cannot believe the mean-spiritedness of something. And the gutlessness of that guy. He wouldn't have done it if he was running, because they could have run right after him. But he knew that he could fly right by him, scare the living heck out of him, and curse him out while he was going 25 miles an hour on a bike. I mean, it's just like it's just unbelievable. I wake up this morning and my sister-in-law asked me to do a favor and tweet out something that she's trying to do to raise money for American Heart Association, good cause. And some guy comes after me, creates 3 burner accounts and says the most nasty stuff. Like, who has the time to be such an a-hole to create 3 fake accounts and go after me for not only that, or a fundraiser that she's doing, but he went after me for last week, some guy that was in a motorcycle accident, that's a wild fan that follows me on Twitter, sent me something about his, I think, brother-in-law that was in a motorcycle accident, and he's got all these young kids, a fundraiser. And I'm like, yeah, of course I'll do it. It's no skin off my back to try to help somebody out if I can raise a little money for a family of 4. And this guy comes after that guy, saying that I had the audacity to do something, to put something on there for whatever he called him. Like, what is wrong with human beings these days? I really hope, 1, that the bikers listening to this podcast, but 2, that stupid piece of crap today that created those burner accounts is listening to this podcast. Frequent our sponsors, though. But otherwise, you are a grade A piece of crap, and I hope you are listening to this.
It is amazing.
As you could tell, I've had multiple coffees.
You've had a lot of coffee. But it is amazing. And, the thing is,
like, what is wrong with people?
we see when people think they're anonymous or they can get away with stuff, their behavior, the level of their behavior decreases. And it's why you see so much bad behavior when you travel. These people think they are unknown. They think they can slam their seat back and wreck your laptop because you don't know them. You're going to have to deal with them again.
Well, I said that to the guy on Twitter today, to one of his fake accounts that had no followers or listeners. I said, do you have a job or a purpose in life? I said, you're obviously embarrassed of what you're doing because you don't have the courage to say it from your real account. I said, so do me a favor. Who are you? Are your kids proud of you? Would your wife like to know what you're doing right now? Would your freaking parents, who I'm sure were great people, like to know what you're doing right now? That you have no life, that you are at 7:30 in the morning creating accounts to come after me for trying to help out my sister-in-law who's doing something for a good cause, or trying to raise money for a father that's in a coma that's got 4 kids. Like, are you that like you're, just freaking dog crap on the Stone Arch Bridge? That's what that guy is. And I just don't understand where people today, because of the anonymity or whatever, have lost all sense of humanity. And you see this in all realms of life. Like, we all, and I'm sure that there are times in my life that I'm being hypocritical, but we all have to be better to each other. A biker being inconvenienced to go 1 foot to the left, not knowing a couple or what they're dealing with and why they're talking, and the absolute audacity of being on the bike path. Really? That's why you just cursed them out and scared the living crap out of them and ruined their night? And here I'm a stranger, wasn't even near it, and you ruined my day because I was thinking about it all day. I just don't understand people. So that's my message to everybody listening to this: is let's for a week all try to be good to strangers. I don't know, how do we get on the subject? Oh, I'm over-caffeinated. So the wild.
That was a great rant.
Yeah.
That was a great rant. No, you know what? We're going to take a cleansing breath.
Okay.
We're going to thank. Here's my transition.
I need to mix in a water.
Here's my transition. You want to be treated well, Michael, as a human being?
Yeah.
Go to Twill. Go to the Edina Galleria. Go into Scott Dayton's
incredible
shop.
to everybody.
Scott
Kind.
is a kind person. His staff is very kind, and not only are they kind, they won't bug you. They're there to help you, but they're there to have a conversation with you if you want. But you can also just wander through the shop and find something you like in a very casual way. So check out twillmn.com for everything they have at Scott Dayton's Twill in the Edina Galleria.
Jim usually doesn't like to shop for clothes. I don't like it when he shops for clothes either, because he used to buy stuff I'd want to throw out. That's why I'm so glad he's found Twill in the Edina Galleria. He likes shopping there because of the comfortable environment and the friendly staff. He finds clothes that actually fit him properly and are high-quality brands that will look great for years, whether he's golfing or working. Our favorites so far are Peter Millar, Johnny O, and Barber. We spend our money at Twill because we love the clothes and we love the no-pressure shopping. Drop by Twill in the Edina Galleria for the best shopping experience and best clothes you'll find in the Twin Cities.
Okay,
All right, you better now?
Yeah, but I need nice water. You know how some people need to mix in water when they're drinking heavily? That's me, only with coffee.
Well, you know what? And it's a light week. We can go off topic here a little bit. I was in
such a good mood an hour ago too. Like I was meeting with that guy at Starbucks, and he was asking me all these questions that got me like about early in my career that got me like taking a trip down memory lane. Like sometimes that's really fun to like think about when you were a kid and how you got into this job and all the little decisions you made along the way to kind of like, lead you to wherever you've been. And it's kind of like that Dave Matthews song, what if I took a left turn instead of a right? What if I took a left turn and maybe, I'd be an accountant today? Who knows? I'd be an attorney. I'd be a cop. No, I don't think I have the guts to be a cop. That's what I told him. He's in law enforcement. And I'm like, I don't know how you guys do it.
I know.
It's just like, wake up every day to do such a dangerous job and we're in such a hypersensitive world that like a lot of people don't like you type thing, even though you're trying to like save our lives. So anyway, let's go down that rant.
Well, we're going to get to hockey. We're going to get to Twitter questions. I'm just going to ask one more tangential question about the topic we're on now, which is, have you seen a decrease in a decline in the behavior of sports fans in this age?
Well, yeah. I mean, did you see that Instagram video of Jack yesterday going crazy in his car?
No.
So there's, I mean, I don't know if this is exactly what you're answering, but this is funny. So Jack was went viral yesterday. Viking fan during halftime when it was 24-0 Bills went into his car. He went into his car because he didn't want to get kicked out of his house by his parents, and he had an all-time 1-minute rant about how the Vikings suck, how he hates this team, how they were the one team that were going to win it all in his lifetime, and it's not just the Vikings, it's the Wild, the Wolves, the Twins, and everybody, and how he's going to go his entire life, he's going to be 80 and not see a championship, and it's freaking hysterical. So I tweet out, Barstool picked it up somehow. I don't know how they do that type of stuff. So I didn't know who it was. It didn't have that it was attached to this person. So I tweeted out, I said, if this person is an Athletic subscriber, I'm going to gift you a subscription. So then I'm like, I don't know what it was. Like 2 hours later, I'm thinking like, as a reporter, I wonder who this Jack is. So I just tweet out, I just do a search on Twitter, Jack and Vikings or something. And immediately it comes up to his account. And it turns out to be this kid that I've known, known either, known not personally, but known via Twitter forever. Okay, like this kid named Jack Kinsman. Hopefully it's okay that I said that. You put it on your Twitter account who you were. So, and it's so funny. I mean, I've met the father. I know the son. The son actually came to one of my sports writing seminars last year at University of St. Thomas, which probably explains his hostility. And like I remember he was. I sort of remember that when he met like Doc Emmerich at the outdoor game, like that type of stuff. So it turns out I actually know this guy. So if that's, is that kind of what you meant? That like,
no,
about
it's not what I meant at all, but that's okay.
I thought you were talking about sports fans acting crazy.
Yeah, well. Or
I misunderstood the question.
Well, no, I was going down the road. Are sports fans as much ruder?
Oh.
Has there been as big a decline in behavior of sports fans as in societies in general?
I think so. I mean, I remember when my brother's a gigantic Giants fan, and they were playing the Cowboys in the playoffs a couple 5, 6, 7 years ago. And my brother alone flew to Dallas to go to the game. And I was scared.
Yep.
Text me, because, my brother's a crazy New York fan. I don't know what he's going to say. I'm sure he's going to drink. Sports fans drink at a stadium. You see it all the time, every single game. Not YouTube videos of fans just beating the crap out of each other. I mean,
especially on the East Coast.
God, man, look at what were happening to Viking fans when they were walking in and out of the Philly stadium.
Philadelphia was the worst I've ever seen.
I mean, just again,
it was the worst.
I mean, people were throwing full beers at these people.
Yep.
I mean, again, it's
horrible.
humanity. I mean, I was in Philadelphia a couple years ago when I forget why I was there, but some out of town fan was killed in the parking lot of a Phillies game. So I don't know. I do think that society now and people get so into sports. I mean, look, I don't behoove the passion. It's why
it's why we have a job.
We have jobs.
But we can also have jobs with people not killing each other in the parking lot.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Wild fans are probably a little right now, it's probably not great to be a Vikings fan or a Wild fan. So they're probably mean.
All right, we're going to take another cleansing breath and tell you about when
we're like 20 minutes in the podcast. I've gotten you to choke like 4 times.
Yes, it's approaching a record. Let's go to Twitter questions next. Let's thank WizKids.tech, Minneapolis company, is doing very well, does great work, very interactive, very accessible. They can be your chief technology ally. WHIZKIDS.tech.
Hello, Minnesota sports fans. This is Michael Thanner, founder and CEO of WizKids. WizKids is a Minneapolis-based managed IT, hosted VoIP, and cloud services provider. Businesses today require fast response times, skilled support staff, clear communication, and technology recommendations that align with their business goals. At WizKids, we do this each and every day with our clients. When you call into our help desk for support or work with one of our higher-level engineers on a complex issue, you'll find our staff personable and ready to roll up their sleeves to help you solve your technology problems. Reach out to WizKids today to find out how we can help your business meet your technology goals. Visit us online at wizkids.tech. That's wizkids.tech. WizKids, make it happen.
It's funny. I was just at that Starbucks meeting with that guy, and he goes, "Do you like doing the podcast?" And I said, "Yeah, it's really good." He goes, but I do think it probably would be better if Jim and I prepped. And he goes, no, I think that's what makes it great, is that you don't prep. So I think this podcast so far has shown that.
Well, I mean,
none of this stuff was planned.
But that's the whole, to me, that's why I had never listened to a podcast until I did a podcast. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh God, this is so much better than all other broadcast media I've ever done, because you can do anything you want, within reason, within taste. Sometimes not even within taste, but you can I just love the openness, and the fact that we're not trying to set up a false debate. We're not screaming at each other. We're not trying to kiss up to any team. We're just talking. We're talking the way we actually talk to each other.
I hope that guy that sent me those burner accounts listens to this.
I hope he does. I hope he does.
I just hope he like genuinely. Yeah. I mean, there's a chance. My sister-in-law is like, "Be careful. This guy sounds dangerous." I'm like, you know what?
Usually these guys are cowards.
Yeah, but I mean, or hopefully today, the reason why he never wrote me back after I asked him, like, "Who are you?" is that he realized, you know what, this is stupid. I gotta. So hopefully we both learned a lesson, because I don't like calling people losers on Twitter. God knows I'm not a winner. My bank account when I go to Vegas could tell you I'm not a winner.
Have you taken a beating?
I haven't been there in so long, but I haven't had a really great run in Vegas in a long time. Except, did I ever tell the story on the podcast? This is probably I didn't, because this is something that probably shouldn't be said on the podcast.
Oh, good. These are my favorites.
But last year at the NHL Awards show, I was interviewing, I was sitting down with Koivu and Granlund when Granlund was up for the Lady Byng and Koivu the Selke. And I was meeting him at the Wynn Hotel bar, and they were a little late. So Mika was texting me. He's like, hey, we'll be like 5 or 10 minutes. So I got to the Wynn, and this is the only gambling I did during the entire NHL Awards / expansion draft. I'm like, all right, I'm at the Wynn. I got nothing to do. I'm going to a coffee shop with them, so I don't want to have coffee. God knows you don't want to have multiple coffees in a row. And so I sat at the video poker table, or video poker, and the machine. I just started throwing a couple of bucks in there, and all of a sudden I get this text from Miko. Okay, hey, we're at the center bar, and so I hit the button one last time to play one more hand. And I get a freaking royal, $1,000 on a royal. So I mean, it was crazy. So $1,000, I hit cash out. The little ticket comes out. I put it in my pocket. I go interview Granlund and Koivu. I go cash out $1,000, leaving the Win. And that was all. That was the only gambling I did the entire trip.
That's fantastic.
Like, that's the way it's done.
That is
awesome. I grind at the blackjack, at the poker, and the craps table. All I got to do is couple minutes at the video poker. Easy.
I was at the press conference for Karl Anthony Towns today, and I was thinking, you just said how happy you were to win $1,000. He probably will make. I mean, I haven't really done the math yet, but he'll probably make $1,000 every 2 or 3 seconds this season.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy what. Today I bought a Wild Player athletic sub.
You sucker. Sucker.
It's funny. He texts, he's like, I'll pay you back. I'm like, don't worry. It's my pleasure. But there was a story I wanted him to read, and he didn't have a subscription. First I was offended, but then I'm like, I was going to give him my username and password. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy him a sub because he's a hockey fanatic. So I bought him the sub. Hey, we were talking about just money here. We're really, like, there are either people loving this podcast or like, can you talk about the Wild?
I know.
But just a real quick, so Reed, Rolf's brother, I always mention Rolf, now Reed's brother, Reed, so several years ago, he and I were going to Vegas together. And we were staying at the Mirage. And we're taking off on this shows you how long ago this was, Northwest Airlines plane. And I'm in seat 1. He's back in steerage because he's like that. And
he's not as big a deal as Michael Russo.
And we're taking off, and I've flown so much that, I know right away when something's wrong, and I could just tell that we're not ascending out of Minneapolis the way that you would normally climb. And so right away I hear the ding, and the pilot calls the flight attendant in front of me, and I could see her face. I'm like, all right, this isn't going to be good. And it turns out that we weren't pressurized or something, and that they had to stay below 10,000 feet and land us back to Minneapolis. And so we were late getting to Vegas, so we were hours delayed at Minneapolis Airport, if I remember correctly, which really bothered me considering it was a hub of Northwest. Like, just get another plane, man. But anyway, so we were late getting actually, you know when this was? This was in 2000 and you know what? This might have been my first or second year in Minnesota. It was 2006 because in 2005, the year that I moved to Minnesota, the year before, my hotel room in Italy was ransacked and everything was stolen. So anyway, you
live a dramatic life.
Yeah,
None of this stuff ever happens to me.
I know. Trust me, I live in a dramatic life. So we get to Vegas. The story I know is taking longer than I thought. But we get to the Mirage. They've given our room away. So I'm like, just give me whatever you have. I just want it in a room. So we get into this room, like way less room than we would have had had we gotten there earlier. But I just wanted a room. But Reed, all he wanted to do was get to the pool. And I said, look, I want to put all my stuff into the safe. And the reason why was because of what happened. If we're going to the pool, I want to put my wallet in there, blah, blah, blah. The reason why is because of what happened in the year before in Italy. So I go to the safe, and the safe is locked. And when you check out of a room, your safe is like you should be able to unlock it for the next guest. So I call down the front desk. All right, we'll send security up. They send security up. I'm doing something at the desk or whatever. All of a sudden, the security guy kind of gives me a weird look as he's leaving, and I go over to the safe, and there's a big envelope in there with money in it. And I go, hey, Reed. And I'm like, did you put anything in the safe? And he's like, no, I didn't put any in the safe. And then I realized that this is why the security guy gave me a weird look, because he knew that I just hit the lottery. Because I told him when he walked in, hey, we just checked in, and the safe won't open. So he opens the safe up and sees this. So I open this envelope, and there's a freaking stack of cash in there. Like,
really?
I can't remember exactly how much. I don't know if it was 1,000 or 2,000. I'm pretty sure it was a couple thousand. And so I said to Reed, I said, here's what we're going to do. I said, we're going to leave the money in there. We're not going to touch it the entire weekend. If somebody calls back, if like all of a sudden phone rings and it's the front desk, like, hey, the previous guest says they left some money in the safe, we're going to be honest and we're going to give it. But there's no way we're turning it into the casino because they're just going to throw it in the cage.
Right.
So at the end of the weekend, nobody called for that money, and he and I just split it.
How much was it?
I think it was a couple grand. And then I was paying the room, so I think he gave me part of the money of his half to pay for his version of the room, and that was it. It was pretty cool.
You just, all of a sudden, every time I look at you as you tell these stories, I just see Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, I know. I haven't had a lot of trips like that to Vegas where you just open the safe and they're giving you money.
It really does sound like something that would only happen in Vegas.
Yeah.
Somebody gets really drunk and forgets that they won a couple $1,000s.
Well, the Panthers, when I was covering that,
I'm going to interrupt
okay,
because we're getting too far in the show. I do want to thank Fixologyrepair.com. Fixologyrepair.com, Mall of America, 3rd floor by Nordstrom's, downtown, just south of the Wells Fargo Center in the Skyway.
There are some things in life that you just can't live without. Now, whether it's a special piece of jewelry, a watch, or even your smartphone, you want it in working condition. At Fixology Repair, we are committed to restoring your pieces so that everything works or fits the way it ought to. Watch servicing, chain repair, and broken screen replacements are just a few of the services that we offer at our 2 locations, Mall of America and the Skyway in downtown Minneapolis. Please visit us at Fixologyrepair.com or at FixologyMN on Twitter to learn more. Mention this ad and get a 10% discount on our services.
Okay, resume.
Panthers, I'm covering them. It's like 1990. It would have been like 2000 or 2001. 99, 2000, 2001. They play, you can look this up, they play Tampa at home on a Saturday and then in San Jose on a Sunday. On Sunday, Terry Murray brings them to Vegas. They practice for a couple days out there. This was the year that Dennis Rodman went like missing from the LA Lakers and nobody knew where he was. It was like all over the ticker, like Rodman AWOL. And I watched him playing craps at the Hard Rock in Vegas. And this is like pre-social media, so nobody could be like, hey, Dennis Rodman's in Vegas. Like, he was missing. It was like on the ESPN sports ticker, and there he is in freaking Vegas. But anyway, but just to give you an example, so they go to San Jose, and we get to San Jose, and one of the players, I won't say the player's name, but he's now a college coach, and great guy. And I reminded him of the story when I ran into him a couple years ago. But we get to San Jose, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, Mike, I heard you say that you were during the All-Star break or something, or on your way back to Florida or something, going back to Vegas, I forgot to turn in chips. Could I give it to you and can you turn it in and just get me the money? I'm like, yeah, no problem. And so next day at the morning skate, he gives me like $3,000 worth of chips that he forgot to turn in.
Oh my God.
And that was like an eye-opener for me on how much money these guys make. Here is a fourth-line winger that somehow forgot to turn in $3,000 worth of
salary,
chips.
per diem.
Yeah, like it's funny because when I'm in Vegas, if I'm having a good trip, like I can't tell you, I'll put the money in the safe, and every time I go to the safe, I like recount it. You know, it's like every time, like is it still $3,200? You know, like that type of stuff. And here's somebody that forgot to turn in chips. And it's like, how do you forget to turn in $3,000 worth of chips?
They're not like us, Michael.
Yeah. So. You want to talk some Wild?
You know, we are going to get to hockey now. We're going to talk hockey. We're going to get to the Twitter questions. Do want to welcome Bite Squad as our newest sponsor of the Talk North Podcast Network. Bite Squad delivers food from hundreds of Twin Cities restaurants. Order online at bitesquad.com or download their app and get food to your door in minutes. And for a limited time, they're offering free delivery to our listeners on the first order by using the code TalkNorth. Bite Squad, food for your mood delivered. Yes, first Twitter question is one word with a question mark from Skylar Vasius. Cunnin.
Cunnin looks great, but he's again, looking to be cleared for contact early October, and obviously he's going to have to start in Iowa at this point.
From Biff Sticks, when players are sent back to their junior teams, does the coaching staff tell the player what they need to work on as far as the game goes,
Yes.
or is it all hands off and let the junior coach do the job?
I mean, they definitely during the season they're kind of hands off. Although again, Brad Bombardier is their director of player development, and so he's in contact with all the junior players. And then it's not unheard of to have the local scout in those areas every now and then touch base with those junior players, talk to them, see what they're seeing, take them to lunch, dinner, whatever. But yes, when they leave, they are given pointers to work on. I guarantee you that Kovanov and Giroux were given like, hey man, keep it up. Do you keep on doing this? You're going to be here. You guys are having great camps. And I bet you somebody like Vladnia was told, hey, this is what you need to do, and you need to get better, because he was probably, of all their young prospects, it sounds like he was kind of the one they were most disappointed with. He didn't have a great Traverse City tournament at all, but he was dealing with a definite injury. So my guess is like they still love him, and I think that he's going to be a player, a pretty decent player if he continues on the development path that he is. But I think that they want him to go and have a big year in juniors.
From Russo Slacks, I didn't get a groan. There was no groan when I said Russo Slacks.
I was distracted.
First off, I'd like to thank your producer, Brandon's Banter, which is his name on Twitter. I don't have a question. Just wanted to let you know I'm looking forward to reading your game, or keep up the good work. We got the groan. From Bill, our friend Bill, in your eyes.
He sent me a direct message yesterday, Russo Slacks, and I didn't even understand what it was. I don't know what I meant by that. It was more like me letting him know without him.
I know that's what it was.
Back.
Yes. From Bill, in your eyes, who is the most critical for the Wild to get this team into the playoffs again? Stahl, Dubnyk, Suter, Granlund.
Dubnyk.
Yeah. From Davis Bailey.
Although Suter better
position.
be. Suter. Yeah. Suter today, I got to tell you, not only was he looking better on the ice, but off the ice, walking without a limp. Finally, that I had seen him, so that's good. Wow. Because man, sometimes it's painful.
Yeah.
Watching him like immediately walk off the ice after a skate or immediately after he gets out of the cold tub. Oh man, it's like you're like looking. I'm like, are you kidding? This is a guy that's gonna play 27 minutes a night. But I will say, like I can already tell you, like the other night, the Wild, like I was getting tweets like, oh my God, what's with their power play? Remember it's preseason. And I will say this, like Suter, that first month, remember he didn't play any exhibition games. There's probably going to be some pains, some growing pains. And I'm going to get the tweets and you're as fans going to be like, oh my God, Ryan Suter, what's wrong with him? This is awful. Like we're going to all remind me of this when I say, oh my God, what's going on with Suter? Remind me of this, because we're all going to watch Suter at first, I guarantee, and be like watching him in his first game have to play against McKinnon and Rantanen in Colorado on opening night. Holy hell. I would not pick him up in your DraftKings. Let's put it that way. He'll be a -3 maybe. Sorry. Maybe the Wild will win 6-3. I don't know.
From Davis Bailey, last year there was an increased focus on slashes and face-off violations. Any league directives for focus? Yeah, you're not allowed to wrap them up and have your weight follow on them. No, that's football. Any league directives for focus elsewhere this year? Will Koivu still get kicked out of the circle more than most?
Well, probably. That'll probably never change. But no, not that I've heard of. I mean, the only real change right now in rules is the chest protectors of the goalies. I haven't really written about that yet, but I know one goalie that's not loving it.
I don't have any idea who that could possibly be. Let's see. From Eric, I believe Russo reported in the past that Spurgeon was a guy Boudreau underestimated until he got his own eyes on him and now sees his true value. Who do you think that guy will be for Fenton? Good question.
Could be Spurgeon. I mean, that play, Spurgeon the other night was so good. I mean, God, I'm not saying they would have beaten Winnipeg, but man, if he was healthy, it would have been such a better series. Like, I looked at, I never pointed out because I didn't want to get him killed on the ice from, Bufflin, but just go back and watch that series and watch Spurgeon skate and how ineffective he was doing anything. It's just, you're already without Suter to have Spurge on half a leg. It just killed them going into that postseason. Again, they probably would have been doomed with a healthy Suter and Spurgeon anyway, but it sure would have helped. Granlund too, probably. I mean, I don't think that there's any chance that Paul Fenton had any clue of how good Granlund was. I mean, Paul's, when you're the Nashville assistant GM, you might have an appreciation for guys like Granlund and Spurgeon and anybody on the Wild, but until you get your eyes on them and really focus on them, you just don't know. I remember I was talking to Doug McLean once when he was I'd ask him when he was a GM of Columbus, like, hey, who'd you like on the Wild? And he'd be like, or the Panthers at the time. No, it would have been the Wild because he, I don't know, I've covered so many lockouts. Yeah, it would have been the Wild.
You've been
he'd be like, honestly, I don't. He's like, I don't.
What do you say? I've covered a lot of lockouts.
He's like, I don't. I can't tell you. I was just watching my guys, and I bet you that's the way with Fenton. Curvers probably has a better idea because he, as a scout, was watching both teams. But I bet you those are the guys that that unless you're here, you don't know how good Spurgeon is. Unless you're here, you don't know how good Granlund is. Sometimes those of us are here still kind of underestimate them. I know that Mary O'Neill could tell you that I'm probably one of those people that's guilty of that with Granlund.
Yeah, Mary would say that.
Definitely.
Let's see. The next Twitter question is Darren Walker. The NHL is getting younger and faster. Don't you think the Wild appear to be getting older and slower? Eric Fehr and Matt Hendricks are pieces that you pick up at the trade deadline for a playoff run, not exactly season-long improvements to get you there. And before we get to that, let's thank Tony Hoagland, Hoaglund, your State Farm agent in Champlin. You can work with him wherever he is. Michael and I get our insurance through him. And Google Tony Hoagland. You'll enjoy working with Tony.
Hey, Minnesota sports fans. This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Hoagland. I need you all to ask yourselves this question. If you're in an at-fault car accident and you are sued for $700,000, how much of that $700,000 will my current insurance company pay? If you are unsure or can't answer all $700,000, you need to give us a call. State Farm has been number one in car insurance since World War II and number one in homeowners insurance since 1964. For a no-obligation review of your current policies, call us at 763-421-4900 or check out our website at www.champlininsurance.com.
All right, what do you think of Darren's premise and question?
Yeah, I think it's fair. We'll see if JT plays. That might make them a little faster, but you're right. I felt they were slower last year, but they were slower with Gimpy, Nino, and Coyle too, and Parisi on the back. As long as, you don't have to be the greatest skaters in the world and play fast. And the Wild looked slower last year in a lot of ways because I felt they played slower at times. But yeah, I think that's fair. I do think that this league is a fast young league right now. The Wild are aging, and they definitely aren't as fast as they used to be.
From Russo's Gamer, now that Vegas isn't the new girl in town, what Gamer Games segment on the road are you most looking forward to?
Ask that again?
He's basically saying now that Vegas isn't new to you, what Gamer Game segment on the road are you most looking forward to? So where do you want to travel? What part of the schedule are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to that Vegas March trip where I'll be there like 3 days. Got a pre-scout. You know what I'm looking forward to is I'm going to my cousin's wedding in January. Missing 2 home games for it, which will be rough because I was just thinking today, like it's easy with NHL TV that you can watch anywhere, but I'm not positive that like you'd be able to watch from Costa Rica. Like I don't know if you have to be in this like continent. Technically Costa Rica is North America, but you know what I mean? Like I just have this feeling like it's going to say you have no rights, location-wise to watch this, which to miss 2 home games can be concerning, but I'm really looking forward to some. In January, heart of January, I'm going to Costa Rica for 4 days, and I'm flying right from Costa Rica to Vegas, because you can't miss the Vegas game.
No, absolutely
so that'd be fun. But why is there Russo's game? I'm thinking like gamer, like playing games. It just dawned on me that gamer is my gamer. I got it. Very funny.
Yes.
Very funny Twitter parody account. The latest one. But yeah, that would probably be it. I'm still Vegas still. That's always my...
Yeah.
There's another one also I'm looking forward to. The Wild play in end of February, I think around the trade deadline, in Winnipeg, and then go to Calgary, but they got like 2 or 3 days off. So Bruce is taking them to Banff. And they're practicing up there. So naturally, I've got to go. And I love Banff, except for the time that
You got a story? You got a Banff story?
Well, you
remember tell us?
Remember the time where I had to sleep over?
Yeah, well, the pajamas.
Yeah.
Only you would bring up a story like that. Your Riseboro pajama story.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you haven't heard that story,
we'll tell it again.
We'll tell it next podcast.
We'll tell it. Let's better live.
I think that I feel bad because I think Riseboro has heard that I've told this story publicly, and I think that he is not happy that I've let that be known, and I get the impression that he wasn't pleased that there's certain things that are supposed to be off the record.
What happens in Doug's Riseboro's bedroom stays in Doug's Riseboro's
it wasn't
bedroom.
in Doug's bedroom, but
I didn't say you were.
You know what I mean. So anyway, can we, Brandon? Brandon, you got some deletions to do.
From Russo's Filter, is Bruce pumping Ericsson X tires to try to build up his confidence?
No, I think he really believes it. Well, maybe. I agree. You gotta... Yeah, I would say. I'd like him to score, man, but man, he was good the other night.
From our friend MJ, Mike, how are Mom and Oliver? She asked. She's so
good.
Nice
Mom just got to Budapest today. It is funny when she's out of the country sometimes. That's when you realize that you miss your mother, because like I was walking over the bridge now. I'm like, God, I'm bored. Oh, just call my mom. Nope, she's in Budapest.
Good Lord, she travels more than
hopefully
you.
Hopefully she listens to this podcast and sees that hears that I actually said something nice about her.
Yes,
because sometimes
this is the one she'll miss.
Sometimes she, yeah, she'll like that.
Mary also asks, are there some teams that you're amped to see this season? Good talent or acquisitions?
Well, I want to see how good Arizona is. Arizona went 3-0 against the Wild last year, and Clayton Keller just erupted, and I think they got better. I think Clayton Keller is going to have a magnificent season if he's healthy, and I think that Arizona just got better with some of the offseason's moves that they made. So I'm looking forward to seeing them.
All righty.
Wild might not, but I am.
And Mary's such a good listener, such a gracious listener. She says, what's your favorite food at Delano's? Is there a salad named in her honor?
I like the Greek salad, definitely. I was talking to Jared, the owner, the other day, and he really wants to get... I probably shouldn't say this because it's probably giving away an idea that he has, but he wants to get Bruce in there to make a pizza and name that pizza.
Well, when are we going to get Bruce on our show?
I'd love to. I'll try to see if he'd come to the October 2nd one, but 2 days before the season, Bruce at night, he's not the way he was when he was a player. Like, he needs to get his beauty sleep. He's not somebody that wants to, especially the night before leaving I would say that that's going to be very difficult. The night before his final practice of the season to get them to Denver, he's going to want to come on the podcast, but I will try. Well, I'll put the Jared Gruid card out there because he's buddies with Jared.
Yeah, I'm disappointed you haven't made it happen to this point.
We'll try.
All right. From Joe Rogers, how do you feel about Eriksson Ek at wing and Greenway at center so far this preseason?
I like Greenway at center. It looks good. I like Eriksson Ek. Again, it's hard to tell. I mean, the one thing I've learned in this business is you don't want to get too high off what you see on the ice in training camp.
Right.
I mean, otherwise Charlie Coyle would be in the Hall of Fame by now.
Ooh. From WH Bonnie 14, he's gigging me here. Who can run a faster mile, Sokolov or Guillaume Latendresse? Can't wait to listen back to hear your pronunciations. How close did I come?
You did not get Latendresse right.
I didn't?
Yeah, Guillaume.
Guillaume, yeah.
Yeah. Guillaume Latendresse.
I thought I came closer than that. Okay, we'll move on. From Tom Hone, since the roster is basically the same as a year ago, is the organization's strategy that most of their offensive talent doesn't go MIA for the fourth playoff season in a row?
Well, I mean, it's hard to answer now. I think their hope is that they have a good year and then they can make significant moves at the deadline. But again, they also will not want to give up their core. At that point, if they're in it, they're not going to want to give up their UFAs like Stahl. And again, I'm doing a story on Tim Army in Iowa for hopefully tomorrow, Tuesday, where Tom Curver says that the biggest problem with the talent in this organization is more quantity rather than quality, and it's because they've traded so many draft picks and they don't want to trade their draft picks. So the question is, what can you trade then? If you're at the trade deadline, you want to improve to get this team over the hump, and you're not willing to give up your core, and you don't want to give up draft picks, and obviously we know this team isn't bustling with prospects, so you don't want to give up them. Not a lot of trading picks, so we might wind up seeing Fenton be patient here and just say, look, it is what it is. Let's see if this team can get it done if healthy, and keep their picks, keep their prospects, get another draft next year where they get a full allotment of picks, and try to really replenish the prospect pool.
Two more questions. Russo slacks. Why doesn't Bite Squad?
He gets two questions?
Yes, this is a good one. Why doesn't Why doesn't Bite Squad have Russo Hockey do surprise deliveries, kind of like the Wild players do for season tickets? Works for me.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't asked me of. This is actually a funny one. Like if I got any online gifts lately.
Have you gotten any online gifts lately?
Yes, I went on Instagram and got a 50% off Athletics sub for that player today. So I'm like, all right, this player makes a good amount of money. I'm going to buy him his sub. Well, I don't want to spend the $59.99. I know the athletic.com/IKnowRusso is 40% off, but I'm like, God, I'm pretty sure on Instagram this morning I saw 50% off, and I went on there and there it was, 50% off. So for $29.99, this player got a subscription to the Athletic for the year.
Well, thank God for that.
And then I slack somebody at the Athletic that's in accounting. I say, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you take my credit card off the guy's account? Because I don't want that player to now know my credit card number.
Last Twitter question. We appreciate everybody sending in Twitter questions. Appreciate all your support.
They didn't teach that in sports writing school.
They did not teach that in sports writing school.
Probably not objective.
So check it out. Bitesquad.com. Promo code TalkNorth. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Twill in the Edina Galleria, Delano's Pizza, downtown Minneapolis, and in Woodbury. Fixologyrepair.com, Tony Hoagland, your State Farm agent in Champlin, and last but not least, WizKids.tech, your chief technology ally. Now, a final question from Trey Wade. It's 1 week before the trading deadline. The Wild are tied for the 8th seed in the West. You have an aging roster and the 31st ranked under 23 prospect pipeline in the NHL. Are you buying, selling, or staying pat at the deadline? What does Paul Fenton do?
Actually, that's exactly what I just said on the previous one. It wouldn't shock me if they stand pat because of everything I just said. You almost need to just roll the dice, hope that this year they get lucky based on the way they play, health, goaltending, and maybe the matchup too. It's sometimes it might be better to cross over and play the Western Conference, although this year the Pacific. Although this year I wouldn't want to run into San Jose. Last year I would have.
Thanks everybody for.
Wait, I got a final thought. I finally have a final thought, and it's a hockey related.
You're shocking me. It's the coffee. It's the coffee talking.
I did a story today. Or yesterday on the Athletic on all lefty number one power play they have. They have Granlund on the left top half of the half wall. They got Suter eventually, now the Brodin, Stahl, Zucker, Nino. And the point is that they're trying to take the page out of the Winnipeg Jets book with their all righty power play with Wheeler on the right. And people, there have been debates on the comment field of my story about whether or not this works. And what I will totally agree with is Wheeler, Scheifele, and Laine are a little different than what the Wild have. And that's the concern, is that what makes that power play work is you got an unbelievable shooter in Laine in sort of the Eric Stahl spot. And as much as I love Stahl, he's not Laine. And Scheifele as the bumper, what makes him so good in that middle is that he could pass, he could shoot, he could put it back to Big Buff. at the point, it's a totally different look. Suter is not big buff. Zucker I don't know if what makes me concerned about the Wild's alignment is Zucker at the middle, because he's not a good passer. And so I think that's a problem. That's what makes Schäffele so good there. And then what where Zucker is so good at is he's got a great shot, but he's great around the net, and he's great with the speed going to the net and making plays and things like that. And to have him shoot from up top the way he did, like he had a shot the other night against Tampa Bay where it's just like he turned and fired, and it was just like, there's nothing he could have done from there, even if Nino was standing right in the goalie's eyes. And so I just don't know how long this alignment will last. Like, it wouldn't shock me if 2 games into the season it's different and they get like at least a Coyle like in that bumper spot, or a Greenway in front of the net. So I guess what I'm saying is that, like, I'm willing to watch it work. It looked to me like there could be a ton of options the other night against a minor league penalty kill that Colorado had. It looked exciting. They moved the puck great. But let's see it against real competition here, and then we'll all make our we can all ascertain if this is going to work.
Pretty little city built on a hillside. Music in the bars and fire in the sky. We went to the beach and it was covered in ice. And I used to call it home. So much coming out, there's nothing going in. I know that you feel like you're never gonna win. Oh, but the world won't forgive a winner.
Blah, blah, blah.